Night Nurse, the 9-4 on favourite, Midnight Court 2-1, and the Engineer 16-1, all three show.
Well, I very much hope that this will be a nice, easy, happy win for Night Nurse, but Fred Winter, of course, hopes that Midnight Court will prove he's sufficiently far back to his old self to deserve a place in the Gold Cup field. The Engineer is taking them along. Over to you, John Penny.
And they have a journey of just over 3 miles, 19 fence, and as you quite rightly observed, John, the Engineer is the leader, from Night Nurse in second place and Midnight Court in third. And they near the first of the 19, a plain fence. And it's the Engineer who will lead them over it from Night Nurse, who jumped up well and now taken the lead. So Night Nurse now the leader from the Engineer and Midnight Court. They're now facing up towards an open ditch. Night Nurse in the lead from the Engineer and Midnight Court. All safely over that, John Joe O'Neill with Night Nurse in the lead, being followed by Gordon Holmes on the Engineer. Oliver Sherwood then just brings up the rear with Midnight Court as they come towards fence number 3. And the Engineer just fractionally the back marker as Night Nurse continues to lead from Midnight Court and the Engineer. And so they're swinging now into the straight on towards fence number 4. They have 4 plain fences up the straight. The white cap and breastplate of Night Nurse in the centre, the Engineer towards the right, and Midnight Court just on the left. And so they come into this plain fence, all jumping well. And of course, Night Nurse has now won 30 races, worth just about £126,000. Hopefully on his way to another success, but they have quite a long way to go yet, and Midnight Court, the former Gold Cup winner on the near side, obviously is not going to let him have things his own way. And so Night Nurse in the lead as they go now towards fence number 6 from the Engineer, trained in Scotland, on the far side, once again the fractional leader, and then comes Midnight Court. And Night Nurse really loving it and jumping well with plenty of zest as they come in towards fence number 7, which will be the 19th and final fence next time round. And so as they shape up towards it, it's Night Nurse, the leader. And Midnight Court just in behind Night Nurse with the Engineer on the far side. Well, John, you didn't have an awful lot of time to talk about Night Nurse. I know you have lots of good things to say about him, so we'll rejoin you.
Well, the happiest thing, John, is I'm touching my wooden table, but the happiest thing is that he looks as if he's really enjoying himself. And I bet you John Joe O'Neill is too, because he told me that the old horse was never really happy at Kempton. He's always hated the place, and he felt that way to John Joe. But today, I'm sure John Joe is getting exactly the opposite feeling. So far, Night Nurse hasn't met a fence wrong. He's either stood back, as he did then at the water, or fiddled very, very neatly indeed. Mind you, Midnight Court's been jumping well, so for that matters the Engineer so far. But Night Nurse, of course, doesn't mind. Oh, he got a little bit close there, but see the cleverness of him. He didn't hit the fence at all, didn't lose any ground, and hardly any impetus. Nevertheless, Midnight Court is going well enough on the rails to maybe give him a race. Who knows? At this moment, I would still be perfectly happy about Night Nurse, and I reckon that John Joe O'Neill is, but Oliver Sherwood getting just a little bit close to that fence on Midnight Court. Night Nurse jumped that the better, but between these two great horses, you can certainly call Midnight Court a great horse. After all, he won the Gold Cup as a 7-year-old. Things have gone wrong since then. Night Nurse jumped that one really beautifully. You saw John Joe see the long stride and go for it. So between these two, maybe it'll be a question as to who can jump best from here, because Night Nurse certainly isn't having it all his own way. Back to you, John.
Well, these two good jumpers really pinging their fences. They make their way around the far side, just over a mile to go, and on towards fence number 13 with Midnight Court, the fractional leader here from Night Nurse. The Engineer about 5 lengths off the leading pair. And so as they come towards this next plain fence, they both approach it together, both come out of it virtually together, and then comes the Engineer. So next is an open ditch, and both still going well within themselves, a good, sensible pace. Night Nurse on the far side of Midnight Court. And Night Nurse, once again, the better jump there, comes out of about 3 parts of length from Midnight Court. And so they have one more fence on the turn before they come back into the straight, and the Engineer is still in the picture, but about 6 lengths off the leaders. And once again, Night Nurse a better jump there from Midnight Court and the Engineer. And so they've got about 5 furlongs still to run as they start to turn into the straight and on towards fence number 16, Night Nurse on the left, Midnight Court on the right. That's the leading two. And, of course, both destined to have a go at the Cheltenham Gold Cup again. And so let's see how they fare over the closing four fences. And once again, Night Nurse is the superior there, but only just a little bit over Night Nurse, who now comes under pressure from Oliver Sherwood as they come now in towards the third from home. 3 plain fences ahead of them. Night Nurse is the leader from Midnight Court. And John Joe just looks back there at Oliver and more or less says, well, come on, I'm going to make the best of my way home. And he's coming now towards the second last and now going clear of Midnight Court. And the Engineer still back in third place. And what a jump there from Night Nurse. He really leapt at that and ate it up. And he's now gone about 5-6 lengths clear. And so with one fence to go in the Pennine Chance, is now Night Nurse well clear and motoring along quite sweetly in the lead. Let's see how he takes his final fence. Oh, he really sprawled at that one, but got away with it safely from Midnight Court in second place. The Engineer over in third as they come up towards the line. Night Nurse, a real hollow victory here, and he's really pulverised Midnight Court and the Engineer, who will finish third. But at the line, Night Nurse, a very easy winner from Midnight Court in second place, and the Engineer over in third. And already the William Hill organisation have quoted Night Nurse 5-2 favourite from